there does feel like there's just like he should be doing a little bit more. Number one pick, one of those not generational quarterback prospects, but one you would punt the whole season for, which is essentially what the Bears would have done if they had that number one overall pick. In fact, it was Carolina's pick. But like we were making the graphics last year, Caleb Williams, Patriot. A little bit of Drake Maye, a little bit of Jaden Daniels, but the guy was Caleb Williams. And this is going to make for a blockbuster performance, or this is going to make for a blockbuster game on Sunday, or at least a blockbuster headline. Number one versus number three. And if Drake Maye comes out and plays the way that he's played and the Patriots win the game, that's going to make for some interesting discourse. Caleb Williams throws a couple picks, kind of running around to nowhere. That is going to make for a conversation. Should it this early in both of those guys' careers? Probably not. But best believe that is what's going to happen. And by the way, Drake Maye has been a heck of a running threat, which I guess they're probably trying to make Caleb Williams into a pure pocket passer. But that was one of the things that made him so dangerous in college, is that he could get outside the pocket. Drake Maye has been, his team's best rusher the last couple of weeks. He was their leading rusher last week at 95 yards. And he is the reason that this offensive line has looked somewhat capable, because he can get outside the pocket and make plays with no offensive line, no wide receivers. Caleb has not really shown that much of that aspect so far with the Bears. And by the way, he did not play well last week. 22 of 41 for 217, no touchdowns, no picks. His lowest yards per attempt since week 2, which was, those first 2 weeks were pretty bad for Caleb in terms of those numbers. But it's really been since that game against Jacksonville, which was right before the Patriots game, the Patriots against Jacksonville. He threw 4 touchdowns, and it was like, all right, here's Caleb Williams. Here he is. 2 games since, he's thrown for less than 350 yards total and has not thrown a touchdown. And he was not good at all in that Washington game, which they lost in the Hail Mary. So it's been back-to-back pretty bad weeks for Caleb Williams, and he took a hit at the end of that one last week. They lost the Cardinals 29-9, and he's taking a hit in the final minute of the game. Golly, we knew Eberflus was stupid, but come on. It fascinates me how much these two teams really line up, because I thought the Bears had a better roster and a better situation going into the season. But you look at these two teams, Bears have a better record, but you look at these two teams, both rookie quarterbacks, both have put up pretty good numbers at some point this year. Both have head coaches who don't know what the hell they're doing. Both have offensive lines that don't know what the hell they're doing. It's pretty interesting how even these two teams are, even though the Bears have a couple more wins. And so all things being equal, the way the better quarterback performs in this week will certainly hold pole position of like who is the second best rookie quarterback behind Jaden Daniels. They're all battling for that. But whoever wins this and whoever has the better game, I guess, is going to be that second best guy behind Jaden Daniels for rookies.
You say that, and I ask
if you throw Bo Nix at me.
Well, so here's a philosophy I have with rookie quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think fit matters way more than we even say it does. And so Jaden Daniels getting Cliff Kingsbury as his OC has been huge.
Yeah.
Especially when the Bears, I think Cliff would have rather been with the Bears with Caleb, and they weren't interested, right? I think Bo Nix being with Sean Payton makes a tremendous difference, whereas if Bo Nix was with a lot of other situations, I don't know.
We could have said the same about Mac Jones with Josh McDaniels a few years ago. He was not the most skilled, but he had the best season out of them because he had a better fit, better team.
And I am pretty convinced that Mahomes' greatness, he's incredible, is in large part due to both Andy Reid and sitting behind Alex Smith for a year, which is why I think the second best quarterback in this class actually might turn out to be Michael Penix.
Really?
Yes.
You're based off that?
Based on...
Because Mahomes did it.
Based on, I think he's in a good situation and he's sitting behind a vet. And I think...
But we don't know if he's good, Scotty.
But as people... Okay, so I haven't been with Rogue very long.
It was a huge reach.
I haven't been with Rogue very long, so most people don't know this. But I
Mhm.
said going into last year's draft, Caleb is overrated. He is not the Mahomes comp. To me, Penix is the Mahomes comp. Penix is more mobile.
Okay, all
And
right.
Penix had the biggest arm in the draft. I mean, as far as deep
Sure.
ball, I mean, and so to me, that's
Drake's
the guy
pretty
with
good.
the highest upside. But it's hard to argue that Jaden Daniels is just
Yeah, I mean,
blown
don't
us away,
overthink
right?
it too much.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Daniels been pretty good.
But to your point,
And I've
Drake
loved listening
Maye
from Drake May, man.
is playing very well in what seems to be a pretty
just
bad
nothing. Just
situation for a rookie
nothing
quarterback.
offensively.
Right.
Nothing.
right.
But he's Michael Penix.
I'm a big
Scotty's
Michael,
on the
big-
Penix
big
train
Michael Penix
because
fan
he's
over
sitting
here.
behind someone. I mean, the Mahomes situation obviously pretty similar to the Brady situation. I mean, Mahomes is taken in the first round. He's the heir apparent. That part's different. But you both sat behind Pro Bowl quarterbacks, had great coaches. Took a while to get in there. Brady took a season plus, and Mahomes, it basically takes a whole season. I don't know, man. That's a take. That's a take, Scotty. Just because Penix is sitting behind Kirk Cousins.
I'm here for the long-term takes. We'll come back in about 2 years and reevaluate.
Who's the coach? Raheem Morris? Oh.
That offense? But think about the way that
They've got weapons.
How has that Atlanta offense turned around so well this year?
Kirk Cousins? It's
Yeah.
not Michael Penix.
Well,
I don't think it's Michael Penix.
you know, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find.
He's not playing.
He is gonna play by next season.
Probably.
You don't
Well,
draft
what was the contract with Kirk? How many years? 3?
I mean, more than. I was shocked. I mean, we're all shocked they drafted him, right? But
Yes.
I think his
You weren't.
upside-
You were like, who wants Patrick Mahomes?
Well,
Go and get him.
But Mahomes went after freaking Mitch Trubisky.
Sure. And Rosen?
Deshaun Watson.
I thought Watson went right after him.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, Rosen. Maybe.
Was it Rosen?
Dude,
I think it was Rosen. Yeah.
somebody who's
Yeah, Trubisky. And who was the number 1 pick?
Trubisky was the number 1 pick.
No, you know who it was Myles Garrett. Trubisky was the first quarterback, though. He's the number 2
There we go,
pick.
there
You're
we
right. You're right. Yeah, and I think Mahomes was 10 and Watson was 12. It could have been vice versa, though. I actually don't remember. Patriots did not have a first-round pick that year. They got taken away from Deflategate and got Brandon Cooks instead. They got the year before taken from Deflategate, traded the first-round pick in 17 for Cooks. We're going to find this out. But ultimately, this game will determine, like, all right, it's Jaden Daniels and who else? Because whoever loses this game will be the source of derision. You know, whoever loses this game will catch some heat, especially, I think, if it's Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams loses to Drake May, the people will not be happy with Caleb nor with Eberflus, who they already don't like. And they'll say, how is this situation losing to the Patriots and their dumpster fire over there? I know it's a rookie quarterback, but we've got all these weapons. We had a good defense coming into this year, and we're losing to the Patriots. No way. So that will be a big time headline, whoever wins it. What do you got? 17
right.
draft?
I was misremembering. Mahomes was 2nd, 10th overall. It's so funny when you look back at drafts all these years later, though. Leonard Fournette went number 4 overall. Christian McCaffrey went number 8 in that draft.
What a steal. Jesus.
Do you remember? You're pretty good at this history stuff. Do you
Let's
remember
try it.
just before Mahomes who the pick was at number 9 overall in the 2017 NFL draft?
God, I would have said Rosen, but I guess that's not right.
Rosen was the draft before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. Then I just got that totally.
I only know because I just looked.
Number 9 pick in the draft, 2017. Would the position or the team, like which one of those would give it away more?
Probably the position.
All right, give me the team.
The Bengals. Oh man. Trey Hendrickson. That's not right. John Ross.
John Ross. Oh my God. Yeah, I should have got that. Receiver from Washington.
Yes.
John Ross.
Yes, the fastest guy.
Oh
at the
my
time.
God. Just, you know what I love about John Ross? The fact that he didn't go to Baylor. because so many of these guys you point to with no route trees, only a good receiver because they're fast. All those guys you talk about went to Baylor except for John Ross. John Ross, one pick before Mahomes. Oh, God. And 2 years later, 3 years later, I guess, they were picking a quarterback.
I could argue that the greatest wide receiver in Cleveland Browns history was a Baylor Bear.
I mean, had a hell of a season. Great Patriot, Josh Gordon. Great Patriot. Super Bowl champion Patriot, technically. Golly, John Ross. John Ross Ewing. Don't call him. Anyway, I don't know. I think I every time I get to Friday, I think enough. I'm like, unless the Patriots are playing a team that is much better than them, which is most teams, but the last couple of weeks has not been that, with the Jets, Tennessee, now Chicago, next the Rams. Every Friday, I'm like, you know what? Drake might just make enough plays. Drake May might just make enough plays to win. It was one play away from winning that last week when they had no business winning it. Did throw 2 picks. But he's always one play away from them winning the thing. I thought they should have went for 2. I really do think they should have went for 2 on Sunday. I said that on Monday, though. So, prediction. Instead of a prediction, how about this? Scotty, right now, I'm putting you on the spot. Would you rather have Caleb Williams or Drake May?
Drake
We're
May.
not going to. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, Drake May. Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to hold you to it forever.
That's okay. I think going into the draft, I would not have said that, even though I was not high on Caleb. But now that I've seen Caleb enough, I don't think it's going to work.
And like, I
did you see?
I by the time the Patriots weren't going to get the number 1 pick, and we knew it, like I just didn't really pay attention much to Caleb Williams. But I just remember thinking that leading up to the draft of like, I'm really just thinking between Jaden Daniels and Drake May. And maybe it was the subconscious telling me I didn't really love Caleb Williams because I didn't, but I understood why he was the number 1 pick.
Well,
and maybe it's just because I knew that Patriots weren't going to get him.
Dude, again, it's the Mahomes comp is so warped because the people think Mahomes and they think run around and improvise and those incredible plays he can make, but they don't realize how often Mahomes just stands in there, reads the defense, and delivers the ball. Caleb, I think to a fault, gets off script and tries to make something happen 12 times a game when he doesn't need to. He overcomplicates it to me. And I just don't think he's that good.
I'll say this. It sounds like a weird thing to say about a 2-7 team versus a 4-4 team, but I think Drake May elevates his team more than Caleb Williams does.
Agreed.
Which again, I know people are going to point to, well, he hasn't won a game. He started and finished. I know, but I watch every snap of this team. I know just how bad this team is. And I saw it for the first 5 weeks. We all did. We saw how piss poor this team is. We saw how bad this roster is. Drake May makes them respectable. He keeps them in games. He makes plays. He gets a bunch of guys involved. Caleb Williams has a pretty good roster for a rookie quarterback. And they're sitting there at 4-4. And he's had some very bad performances this year, and he hasn't thrown a touchdown in 3 weeks. I think Drake May elevates his team more than Caleb Williams does. And it might not show in a win on Sunday, but if you watch the game, I think you'll agree with me.
We are Rogue Media Sports.